Good morning, boys and girls. You know that we've been working on multiplication for the last 3 weeks. So today we're going to learn the meaning of division. And when I talk about division, that means like I'm taking it and I'm sharing it, okay? So just like addition and subtraction are opposites, well, multiplication and division are opposites. So we're going to go over what division is today, and then we will do different strategies like we have with multiplication. Before we dive into division, I want to review some of our multiplication strategies. We have used repeated addition, we have used equal groups, we've used an array, and we've used a number line to solve multiplication problems. So I'm going to take 3 times 7 and I'm going to do 3 of those strategies with you. I'm going to go over how to solve 3 times 7 in equal groups, 3 times 7 in an array, and 3 times 7 as repeated addition, okay? So we know that 3 and 7 are called factors. So we need to take 3 times 7 to find the product, which is the answer to a multiplication problem. 3 times 7 also reads as 3 groups of 7. So the very first strategy I'm going to do is 3 groups of 7. I'm going to do my grouping strategy, okay? So I'm going to draw 3 groups. 1, 2, and 3. And where does that 3 come from? Right here, it's my first factor. So I have 3 groups of 7. Well, how many go in each of those groups? 7. That's where that number 7 comes from. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Now I've got to put 7 in this group. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7, okay? So now I've modeled a grouping strategy and I've solved 3 times 7. Well, let's see what the product is. I know that this is 7 because I put 7 in there, so that one's 7. Now I got to add this one to it. That's 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, and 14. Okay? Now I move on to this one. That's 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, and 21. So the product of 3 times 7 is 21. Here I've shown you a grouping strategy. Now I'm going to go below and show you repeated addition. So if I'm doing 3 times 7, I'm telling you I have 7 3 times. So I'm going to add 7 3 times. So here's 7 one time. Here's 7 2 times. And here is 7 3 times. So if I wanted to solve 3 times 7 with repeated addition, I would just add 7 3 times. So 7 plus 7 is 14, plus my 7 more is going to give me 21. So my product stays the same regardless of what strategy I used, okay? So I've used a grouping picture, I've used repeated addition, and now I'm going to draw an array to show you 3 times 7. In an array, I have 3 rows, 1, 2, and 3, and they run horizontal. And then in my columns, my vertical ones, I have 7, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. So here's an array with 3 rows of 7. So your product is always going to be 21. So I wanted to review those multiplication strategies because now we're going to move into division, which is the opposite of multiplication. What I want to do is I want to listen to this story, The Doorbell Rang, and fill in this graphic organizer with you, okay?
To our channel, please subscribe to hear children's books read aloud daily. The Doorbell Ring by Pat Hutchins. between yourselves, said Ma. I made plenty. That's 6 each, said Sam and Victoria. They look good as Grandma's, said Victoria. They smell as good as Grandma's, said Sam.
Okay, let's go back over here, and it says I have Victoria and Sam, okay? So let's show my work. So I'm going to make a group, and I'm going to title this Victoria, and I'm going to title this group Sam, okay? All right. How many cookies did it say that they had? It said they had 6 each, so I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 for Victoria, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 for Sam, okay? How many total cookies did they have altogether? That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. So they had 12 cookies that they divided by. How many people did they divide those cookies by? Well, it was just Victoria and Sam, so it was 2. So they had 12 cookies. They divided them by 2 people, and they each got 6, didn't they? So how many cookies did each of them get? Well, they got 6. What do you think is going to happen when they add more people? Do you think they'll get more cookies or will they get less cookies? So let's listen to the story to find out.
No one makes cookies like Grandma, said Ma as the doorbell rang. It was Tom and Hannah from next door. Come in, said Ma. You can share the cookies.
Oh no, so they have 2 more people coming. So they have to share the cookies with 4 people. So let's go back to my graphic organizer. So how many cookies do I have? I have 12 cookies. That doesn't change. How many people am I sharing those cookies with? Well, I have Victoria, Sam, and now I have Tom and Hannah. So I'm sharing them with 4 people, okay? So in my word column, I'm going to make 4 groups instead of 2 because I have 4 people. So that's 1, 2, 3, and 4, okay? I want to share them equally, so I'm going to take and I'm going to give each one a cookie. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4. But I have 12 cookies to give, so I'm going to keep going. That's 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. So I've hit 12, and that's the number of cookies I have. So if I share 12 cookies with 4 people, how many do they each get? 1, 2, and 3. They just get 3 cookies now, okay? So let's go back to the story and see what happens because I think we're going to add some more people.
That's 3 each, said Sam and Victoria. They smell as good as your grandma's, said Tom. And look as good, said Hannah. No one makes cookies like Grandma, said Ma as the doorbell rang. It was Peter and his little brother. Come in, said Ma. You can share the cookies.
Okay, let's count and see how many children are there in this picture that are going to have to share the cookies. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So now they have 6 children sharing 12 cookies. So let's go back to our graphic organizer and do that one, okay? So I have 12 cookies and I'm sharing them, so I'm dividing it by 6 because I'm sharing it with 6 people. So how many groups do you think I'm going to draw here? 6. That's right. I'm going to draw 6 groups. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Okay. How many cookies am I sharing? 12. And since I need to share them equally, I'm going to give each one until I hit to 12. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. So if I take 12 cookies and divide it by 6 children, they each get 2, okay? So 2 is your answer. So they just keep getting less and less cookies the more people they have to share with. So let's go back to the story.
That's 2 each, said Victoria and Sam. They look as good as your grandma's, said Peter, and smell as good. Nobody makes cookies like Grandma, said Ma as the doorbell rang. It was Joy and Simon with their 4 cousins. Come in, said Ma. You can share the cookies.
Let's see how many kids are there now. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 at the table. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. There are 12 children there now. Now, if there are 12 children there and they only have 12 cookies, how many cookies do you think they're going to get? Let's go back to our graphic organizer here, okay? So I have 12 cookies divided by 12 kids. So how many groups am I going to have to draw here? 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. Now I've got to take and share equally those 12 cookies. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. How many cookies did they get if they have to share them with 12? They just get 1 cookie. So 12 divided by 12 is 1. They just get 1 cookie. Let's go back and finish the story. Maybe Mom will make some more cookies for them.
That's 1 each, said Sam and Victoria. They smell as good as your grandma's, said Joy. And look as good, said Simon. No one makes cookies like Grandma, said Ma as the doorbell rang. And rang. Oh dear, said Ma as the children stared at all the cookies on their plates. Perhaps you better eat them before we open the door. We'll wait, said Sam. It was Grandma with an enormous tray of cookies. How nice to have so many friends to share them with, said Grandma. It's a good thing I made a lot.